Good morning. This is the first unit, Strategic Marketing Management, and the topic is Marketing Philosophies. At the end of this class, you will be able to know how the evolution of marketing concept has taken place. Then, what are the various concepts or philosophies of marketing? That is, the production concept, product concept, selling concept, marketing concept, and the societal marketing concept. Next, coming to the marketing philosophies. Marketing philosophies are also called as marketing concepts. Here, this concept has undergone a very drastic change over the years. So earlier it was in the previous days or during industrial revolution, it was focused on production or later selling, which was the just a key idea about the marketing. That is only producing and selling the goods. There is nothing specified like about customer satisfaction. So only the thing is the organizations has to produce and they have to sell the goods. Whatever they have produced, they have to sell them in the market. So there is not enough emphasis or importance given on customer satisfaction. What are the needs of customers and whether the company is going to produce according to the needs or not, and whether the products are affordable or not, whether the customers are able to buy those products or not. So here these emphasis whether the value has been created or not. So all these things are not considered and only the thing is production and selling. So then over the years in modern times, this modern marketing concept has been developed. So here we'll be able to see what the marketing efforts of an organization will focus, like it is on the product, it's on the production, or it's a products, or just on selling goods. So these concepts or the philosophy of marketing has evolved over a period of time, and we'll see one by one what are the different marketing concepts. First one, the production concept. It is one of the oldest concepts in the business. That is before 1800s. The earlier days of industrial revolution, during those days, the demand for industrial goods started picking up, but there were no producers or there were not enough producers who were producing the industrial goods. So as a result, what happened is the demand exceeded the supply. The focus of business activities was therefore given on the production of goods and not on selling. Here selling is not the problem. Only the thing is production. There is no production. So for meeting the production, the business activities has to concentrate on only the production of goods. It's not concentrated on quality or anything, nothing like that. The thing is here, the goods have to be produced at large scale, whereby it reduces the average cost of production also. So it was also assumed that consumers will take those products which were available to them at an affordable price. As the production increases, the price is also going to be to the minimum cost. So thus availability and affordability of the product were considered to be the key success for the firm. So here, for this purpose, here in this production concept, the greater emphasis was placed on improving the production and distribution and not on the quality of the product or the efficiency of the organization. Next, the product concept. So it's during 1800 to 1920s. This concept has been developed. So it says, or it proposes, that consumers opt those products that offer the most quality performance or some innovative features. So here the organizations use it to focus on making superior products and improving them over time. So here importance has been given to the quality rather than on quantity, which we have seen in production concept. So there the products use it to they use it to produce the organization use it to produce the goods. There is no importance to quality of the product. So that's why it is called as a seller's market. Here the emphasis is given on the product, its quality, its features, its performance, how it is performing, and any innovative features to be added to the product. All these things are given importance. So here product improvement has become the key point for profit maximization of a firm. The selling concept, it's between 1920 to 1950. So this concept gave an improvement in the thought that consumers will not purchase enough of the company's products unless large-scale promotional and selling efforts are carried out by it. So selling concept says that whatever has been produced, those has to be created some awareness in the minds of the consumers. So the consumers are not aware of the products which are being produced by the companies. So for that particular purpose, it has to emphasize on the aggressive selling and promotional efforts to make a customers buy those products. So the use of various promotional techniques such as advertising, personal selling, and sales promotion. So all these have to be covered for making the customer aware of the products which are produced by the organization. The selling concept is mostly likely to be used by the firms which sell unsought goods, because here those are not known, or the customer is unaware of those products, and they have to be created an awareness about the product. Next, the marketing concept. It emerged in the mid 1950s, that is 1950 to 2000. Here this concept gives great emphasis on achieving the organizational goals by making by taking the customer's satisfaction as a key point. So here the customer satisfaction, this particular word has come into picture only through this particular concept, wherein the customer satisfaction has become the key point or focal point for all strategic decision making in the organization. So in the long run, if the organization has to flourish, then that means it has to maximize its profit. Then it has to identify the needs of its present as well as the prospective buyers, and also satisfying them in an effective way. Here, for example, what product will be produced, what are its features, and at what price shall it be sold, or where it shall be made available for sale. All this will depend on what to do what the customers want. So if the customers want, say, suppose the features like double door in a refrigerator, or a separate provision for any uh, part, like to be replaced with the new feature, then the organization has to produce with the refrigerator with these features, and it has to satisfy the customers needs, or it will make the customer satisfied. Then the organization can retain the customers. So here Theodore Levitt, he is a philosopher who has given emphasis on he has said that selling focuses on the needs of the seller, whereas the marketing on the needs of the buyer. So this has been given by Theodore Levitt. Also here the emphasis has been given on customer value. That means the customer is going to get more benefits than the cost. Societal marketing concept. So this concept emphasizes on social responsibilities and suggests that to sustain in the long run and to get long-term profits, the company has to develop a marketing strategy where the customer value will be created, and which it improves both the customers as well as the society's well-being than its competitors. So the concept has developed between the conflict with the consumer short-term needs, fulfilling the consumer's short-term needs and society's long-run well-being. So in 1960s and 70s, there were some unethical practices of many companies, and those came into picture. At that time, the concept of social marketing has taken place in 1972, where a more socially responsible, moral, and ethical model of marketing was developed by Philip Kotler in his concept called societal marketing. So this concept evolved from older concepts of corporate social responsibility and sustainable development, and these were implemented by several companies to improve their public image through customer and social welfare activities. So here the concept helps to maximize the profits as well as and creates a long-term relationship with customers.